Yeah, we're at the wrap party for Nazi Dawn, which is a B horror film made by Tomcat Films. You could find them at tomcatfilmsllc.com. We're at Dimples in Burbank, and we're going to do some karaoke. And I just ordered everybody drinks and appetizers because I'm the administrator of that kind of crap. So here we are.
What is your role in this production?
I'm co-director. I co-wrote it. It was an existing script, and I did some promo work for them, and I acted for them in the past. So they asked me if I wanted to write some comedic stuff, and I said yes. And it almost got turned down, some of it, because they said it was too weird.
What is weird? Tell us what the story is.
All right, so what it was originally is it's kind of like Cabin in the Woods. It's a bunch of hot sorority girls, and they go out to this cabin in the woods to party, and they have no cell phone reception or anything. So they're out there partying, and of course the house is haunted. Well, I added some weird elements, like there's a schizophrenic sorority girl. There's this guy who was originally going to be played by Ron Jeremy, but he had a brain aneurysm last minute, so he had to pull out. But our actor is great, the actor who plays it. His name's Art, and it's this groundskeeper named Stu. It's pretty awesome situation.
Is the story based on stuff that's happened to you, or is it stuff?
Well, I had some of my upbringing was in Kentucky, so it is based off of some people I've met in my life, but it's not really stuff that's happened to me. I met this one guy in Kentucky on the side of the road, out past Lexington. I was on my way to a horse race, and I was with my family, and we passed this one guy who was selling tomatoes on the side of the road, and he was retarded. So he was selling tomatoes on the side of the road, and he was just missing teeth, and he was just like, "Y'all want to buy some maters?" And we bought some tomatoes from him just because we felt bad for the guy. And there was just flies all around the tomatoes and everything. These tomatoes looked awful. No one's going to eat those. No one's going to eat those damn tomatoes. So just people like that have inspired my writing, I guess. I like weird backwoods hillbillies. So.
Is this your first co-directing?
It is.
What was the experience like for you?
It was great. It's a great preparation for other stuff I've been writing. I've never directed before, so not for an actual film, only for porno. So it was great to actually direct on a low-budget B film and see what that's like. It's a lot of work. A lot of preparation goes into the schedule. If anyone is late, if anyone can't show up that day for whatever reason, it screws up the entire schedule. And you have to be very prepared for that, because we only have 8 days to shoot the entire thing, and for normal films, that's a very, very short amount of time.
Well, you're kind of laughing about it, but what's the difference with directing an adult film and
Directing an adult film in a lot of ways is easier because it's less focus on the story, and it's not so much focus on what you can show and what you can't show, because you can pretty much show almost anything in an adult film except softcore, of course. So you're not really having to worry about, hey, well, other countries buy this because it's too lewd. You don't really have to do that so much with adult film. With this sort of stuff, you do have to make sure that it's fairly conservative with, of course, some sexuality. I mean, there's nudity in this film, but it's not a porn, so Ryan Keeley and Missy Martinez supply some of the nudity, and then there's some glimpses of stuff of me because I'm a crazy sorority girl and my nipple pops out here and there unexpectedly.
When you directed this movie, did you direct it from what you wanted to see, or what was for the story, or was it for...
I directed it based off of what I'm supposed to do, because this is a job ultimately. So when they told me they want me to direct this, it was an existing script to begin with, and I just added some stuff that I thought would be good. And there's not too much I can do with what's already there other than add some glitter to it. So I hope it'll read well. I mean, it's very low budget and not a lot of time, but I think it'll read really well. So
from the original idea you had in your head, how much do you think you actually were going to film and get done?
Oh, that's a good question, because the last day we shot, we were running so low on time. We had to leave this location because we were It was just at a recording studio in Orange County. We were supposed to be out there at 6. It was 6:30, and we were shooting a pretty important death scene. And I wrote most of that death scene. We filmed probably a quarter of it. Honestly, we couldn't get all the lines out because there was too many delays in the morning. Somebody was late, and then there were some issues with someone else's interactions with the other actor. So that delayed the whole entire film, and we had to cut that scene short. So that's just, you have to make sacrifices and you have to choose. It's all about decisions with directing.
Now, are you involved in the editing or anything in the film?
I'm not involved with, well, actually, what I did do, because we had so many major edits with this film, is we actually took out some of the edits that we absolutely do not want involved. So we just threw them away so the editor would not accidentally put them in the film. So that's the only involvement I have. Otherwise, I'm not editing at all. No way. That's so tedious. That takes forever.
Are you the type of individual that critiques your own work at the end of the day and figures how you can make it better? Or?
Oh, always. I always criticize my own work, always. I always want to improve.
Would you go direct again or direct?
Yes, absolutely.
What would you change from the first one?
Well, first of all, I want to direct a film that I wrote entirely on my own, which is going to take a lot of time. I mean, it took a long time just to co-write this. So, I mean, it was my first time doing this, so it definitely took a lot of time. It's gonna take some time. It's not the only project I have going on in my life, so, but it takes precedence right now.
Oh my God, excuse me, are you Veronica Ricci? Oh my God, it's Veronica
hey,
Ricci.
this is really embarrassing.
Oh my God,
this
I
is
wanted to meet you. I'm so sorry.
This is really embarrassing. I'm not Veronica Ricci.
Not today, next tomorrow.
I'm Veronica Reach Around. All right.
Reaching on a lucky person. Anyway, so then are you done appearing on camera? Are you still going to act? Do you just want to direct? Do you just want to do what?
It all depends on the situation. I mean, I was in this film for a short period of time too, and I wrote my own part, of course, so it's a fairly short part, but people have said that it's the most colorful character in the film, and there's a lot of weird characters in this film. So for them to say that means it's pretty weird. I play a heroin-using, witchcraft-loving, schizophrenic sorority girl that's only in the sorority because her parents supplied some money to the sorority. So I end up killing myself on accident during a witchcraft sort of thing. So everyone else dies at the hands of a Nazi killer, not me. It was really hard because I have to keep going back and looking at the scene and making sure that was okay, making sure that's what I wanted, because I can't just look at the screen the entire time I'm acting. So it was pretty hard. And that's one of the scenes that actually got cut a little bit short because I was the end of the day. I put my scene at the end of the day. Of course, I'm a little tired. I haven't eaten all day. And so I'm like, all right, let's go for this shot. And I probably didn't do as good as I wanted, but it still had some of the essence.
Anything specific coming up you want to plug?
I want to plug twitter.com/Veronica Ricci, VeronicARicci, as well as my Instagram, which is under the same name, Veronica Ricci, and VeronicaRicci.com, SpankingVeronica.com, as well as TomcatFilmsLLC.com. Thank you.
Publicity or something for Tomcat, right?
Yes, that's how I...
Email or something, or people need promotional materials, they can contact you?
Well, the main one they could contact me through is Luxinator, LUXINATOR 3 @gmail.com.
And are you no longer making adult films? No longer...
I do fetish. I do spanking is my main fetish. It's a long story how I got into that. I also like indulge in the furry, if you know what that means, furry atmosphere a little bit. It's people who dress up in animal suits and you get a little freaky. I like to see different things. With adult, I did it for about 5 years and I had a great time and I don't regret it. The thing was, it was time for me to move on. I got a little bit bored, so that's what I did. I wanted to expand my creative horizons, so here I am doing other things. So yeah, I do spanking and horror films now, and I'm gonna try and do more.
Have you done a spanking horror film yet?
Good question. There's gonna be some parts of that in one of my films, most likely, but that's not for a while. I have to raise the funds for it, as well as set it up and completely script it out. Like, the idea is there, and I have most of it down, but the entirety of the script, like everything everyone says, that takes a while, because you have to map out, where's that going to take place? Where can you afford for that to take place? You can't just say, oh, that's going to happen at the Empire State Building. It has to happen where you can feasibly have it happen.
We're in Dimples and people karaoke. And then you want to karaoke tonight?
Yeah, we're gonna karaoke, and I have half of my voice left. But yeah, I'm gonna karaoke.
What are you singing?
There's a few songs. We're singing "Beast of Burden" by Rolling Stones. We're singing "The Animals' House of the Rising Sun," and some other songs, just random songs I chose on that jukebox.